It's day 79, it's 5:35 in the morning, and we're on our way to the RSL, it's Anzac Day, for the dawn ceremony.
In Broken Hill.
In Broken Hill.
Dedication. On this solemn occasion, being the 110th anniversary of the major event in our nation's history, Anzac, we recall those who served in war and who did not return to receive the grateful thanks of their nation. We remember those who sleep where they were left, amid the holly scrub and valleys and ridges of Gallipoli, on the rocky and terraced hills of Palestine and the cemeteries of France. We remember those who lie in the ground beneath the shimmering haze of the Libyan desert at Beredia, Dina, Tobruk, and amid the mountain passes and olive groves of Greece and Crete, and the rugged snow-capped hills of Lebanon and Syria. We remember those who lie buried in the rank jungles of Malaya and Borneo, in New Guinea, and in the distant isles of the Pacific. We remember those who lie in unknown resting places in almost every land, and those gallant souls whose grave is the unending sea. We remember those who were prisoners of war remote from their homeland. We think of those of our women's services who gave their lives in our own and foreign lands and at sea, and of those who proved to be, in a much more than name, the sisters of our fighting men. We recall too the staunch friendships created as countries fought beside each other on the first Anzac Day, especially those from New Zealand and Australia who helped to create the name of Anzac. We think of every man and woman who, in crucial hours, died so that the lights of freedom and humanity might continue to shine. We think of those gallant men who died in Korea, Malaya, Borneo and in Vietnam, assisting to defend the Commonwealth and other countries of the free world against the common enemy. And now, in this modern age, we think of those who paid the price of others. Of their achievement, and may we and our successors in that heritage
by those who wore and are still wearing our nation's uniform. We remember not only those who never returned, but also those who did, forever changed. I have been fortunate enough to commemorate this day in many different places, including Anzac Cove, overlooking the beaches those brave men were faced with on the morning of the 25th of April, 1915. To see the unforgiving landscape they were faced with, the cliffs that would have been looming over them, is an experience I'll never forget. However, whilst I stand before the community I call home, I can tell you that when I think of Anzac Day, I think of moments just like this one. Moments just before dawn when I can hear a faint tinkling of metals in the distance. The crowd gathered grows still as we wait for the veterans and their loved ones to finish their march along Argent Street. That feeling is what Anzac Day means to me. The feeling of pride and thanks to those veterans, and a deep connection, because everyone gathered is there for that same reason. This morning I want to acknowledge the spirit of a community far from the trenches of Europe or the jungles of the Pacific, yet deeply etched into the Anzac story, Broken Hill. A town forged by hard work, resilience, and a connection to country. Broken Hill is a reminder that the Anzac spirit lives not just in the actions of those on the front line, but in the hearts of those back home. It was in towns like Broken Hill where the war was felt in every household, in every mind, and at every silence at the dinner table. I'm so proud of my hometown and the crowd that I can see here this morning, taking the time to acknowledge and remember the people that sacrificed so much for us. It was here that the nation's wartime identity of mateship, service, and sacrifice was kept alive in the strength of its people. Let us remember that Anzac Day is not a celebration of war, but a commemoration of courage. It is a time to reflect on what it means to serve something greater than oneself, a mate, a community, a nation. As the sun rises behind us, we carry forward the memory of the fallen, the returned, and the families left behind. We remember the bravery and sacrifice of those far from home, the mateship that carried them through hell, and the enduring hope for peace in a time of darkness. Lest we forget.
Thank you very much, Flight Sergeant McCool. I'd now like to ask Padre Shrimpton to recite a prayer for the nation.
Them. Lest we forget.
Right! Right on! Turn! Ladies and gentlemen, with hats on, please remove them. Uniformed people to salute.
get pictures of it, so better views of these nice buildings.
Yeah. Beautiful sunrise. There's Broken Hill Chiropractic. And look at this beautiful building. How stunning. We still got a bit of the color. I know. This is Outback Whips and Leather. Initially we thought it was a porn shop, but
It's an adult entertainment store.
wow, isn't that neat?
That is really cool. There is a plaque on the end of it.
So this was done by students. The Broken Hill Art School. Cultural Practices course. The Aboriginal Arts and Cultural Practices course. Courthouse is beautiful. 7:49 on day 79, and we're on the road heading to Cobar today. So got a big day of about 5 hours of driving.
Looks very cloudy ahead.
Yeah, the weather doesn't look that crash hot there now.
No.
Looking right into the sun.
We've just nicely left Broken Hill area, and you can see the cloud in the distance. There have been just a couple of little spits of rain on the windscreen.
Willa Wonka Creek.
Willy Wonka Creek. Yeah, so Charna's at the wheel, and we're making Cobar our destination tonight. And then tomorrow, young Jeffrey Young will ride out to meet us at the Warrumbungles. That is, if it's not peeing down rain because he's on his motorbike. Yeah. Oh. Road train. Some big satellite dishes there. I wonder if that's part of our telecommunications stuff or CSIRO or I don't know, something like that. There's two of them. Just past two dead roos, one of them in the middle of the road. So we're gonna have to be cautious of those sorts of things. No goats yet, but I'm pretty sure we'll probably see some. It's been Wildlife Mile here. Goats to the left, goats to the right. Little kangaroo, a live one this time. So Charna's having to bob and weave her way through the livestock and the feral pests. The sky looks foreboding, but it looks pretty cool too, doesn't it? I reckon.
Another goat.
There's a black goat there on the right. Oh, brown one in there. Across there. Dry river there. Oh, bouncy, bouncy. Such a terrible problem with goats out here.
Oh, it's horrific. They are everywhere.
Yeah, and if you were a farmer trying to run some sheep on your property and all these goats,
See over there?
there's, I don't know if you see those, there's goats there. They'd be eating everything, all the food. Oh man, just, to both sides, goats everywhere. They must eat just the succulent stuff first, and then if they haven't got anything left, then they start going on
There's another goat.
the other stuff. Well, that's the goat report. Goats to the left, goats to the right. Don't trust them. That's a little one. That's a kid.
Transported just goes through.
That's a wide thing, eh? So we've seen a fair few emus as well. Scads of goats, but
Heaps of emus.
quite a few emus. One live kangaroo, a bunch of dead ones. No feral cats so far.
And no wedge-tailed eagles.
No, with all this carrion for them to munch down on.
Here we've got a stretch where there's really no roadkill.
Uh-huh.
But I wonder if it's because there's no scrub or anything right now. Don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty flat and just desolate looking, really. Looks like there's something on the road ahead there. You can, if you've got no behind you. So just as we said there haven't been any roadkill, bang, there you go. The vegetation's changed quite dramatically. We've got lots of scrubs and stuff now, whereas before it was just sort of a bit of grassy stuff. Just past, of course, 9 emus walking along the side of the road. I don't know, didn't have the camera going. A dead emu on the road. We were just reminiscing about our first trip on our Outback adventure, which was our first anniversary. We went out through Cameron Corner, and that was the first and last place we saw emus. There was only 3 of them. And this trip here, they're just absolutely everywhere.
Yeah. But I guess that's a good sign that we're protecting them.
Maybe, yeah.
That the population is flourishing.
Yeah, well, because this whole drive, we've seen them everywhere, absolutely everywhere. There we go. 4 emus walking down the road, or beside the road. There's another one in the distance there. We're about 60 k's, oh there's a bunch of them over there, 60 k's out of Broken Hill, and we haven't seen goats for the last 5 minutes.
Which is good.
Yeah, so maybe that's their run. Road's quite lumpy and bumpy, as you can probably see from the video. Jarna's got her 2 knuckle hands over on the wheel there. White knuckled hands, I should say. Well, of course, we just passed a mob of emus that must have been...
Oh, it's the most we've ever seen.
Would have been 40 or 50 birds, easy. Yeah, but of course didn't have the video going, and we're gaining on this caravan in front of us, and it's a bit of a narrow road, so we might just slot in behind it for a little bit, and hopefully he'll pull over at the rest stop. We need a long straight stretch to pass, and you can't see around them to pass anyway.
And the other thing is, if you pull out to pass and then there's a dead root in the middle of the road,
that's right, yeah,
not nowhere to go.
Nowhere to go, yeah. Just showing you the bit of rolling hills and whatnot. Oh, rock outcrop into that one. It's our first rise in a long time. We're just going along the plain, I guess.
We've actually got a couple of curves coming up.
Yeah, which is astounding.
It's pretty straight.
Getting back into the scrubby trees. And we've seen more goats and more emus. Into some fairly lush looking grasses here, so I would assume that we're going to have kangaroos and goats and things in this area. Just checked in with the old doll. She says she's doing pretty good, so I think she'll drive us all the way to Barabah. Oh, I guess not. Oh, there you go. Just goat, goat, goat. Yeah. It does look like good grazing country for animals here. Look at that, we've got rolling hills and corners. The road's becoming a bit more interesting. And I think the surface is a little bit better by and large. What do you reckon? A little bit?
Comes and goes.
Yeah. It's a lovely temperature right now. Must be, I don't know, mid-20s anyway. We've just entered what they call the Central Darling Shire. And I'm going to spin around here. Did that make you guys dizzy? Charna just said that the road surface keeps changing, and I suggested it goes from bad to worse to shit. That's probably about it.
That's a good, very good description.
Yeah. Certainly isn't like the Autobahn. Well, we can add feral pigs to the menu, because I just saw a dead one beside the road. Big black thing. A bit of traffic now. Coming closer to Wilcannia, we're probably about 15 minutes away. Farmer's got rocks growing over there. still goats, emus, and sheep. No camels.
No camels.
Oh, bummer. Well, here we are, coming into Wilcannia, and we're going to fuel up if we can and change drivers. Is there fuel between here and Cobar?
I don't know. So we're just cruising around Wilcannia because we actually couldn't turn where we're supposed to for the BP, and I don't know if that's because of Anzac Day. Maybe there's a Anzac parade. The lineup for fuel in Wilcannia was ridiculous. So supposedly there's a little roadhouse 90 kilometers down the road that has fuel. Fingers crossed they do.
Yeah.
And there you see the goats on either side. Like they're everywhere still. And Neil just saw another feral pig dead on the side of the road.
Yeah.
It looks like somebody's planted a hedge along here. It looks almost groomed. It's very pretty. Looks like the English countryside.
Yeah.
Everything is quite green here.
Yeah. Must have had some rain here.
They had to have. Like, it's still goats as far as the eye can see. Like, look at them all. Yeah. And that's been for the last 4 hours of driving. All we've seen is goats and some emus, but just goats everywhere.
Yeah.
We've got this really lush grass on the side of the road. We have this really lush grass on the side of the road and in the fields. I guess the goats would love this, but actually right here where this is, there aren't any goats. Another long stretch of straight road and lots of goats. Oh, see that one up there in the tree? 30 years ago when we were out here, we never saw a goat.
No, not one.
No, and look at them all.
They stink.
So we're coming into Cobar.
Haven't seen any goats for the last kilometer.
Yeah, the last kilometer. Maybe they shoot them all outside of Cobar. Caravan Park. No, that's not the sign for it. Cobar Caravan Park. G'day. Right
You've
here.
arrived at your destination.
So here's our spot at the Caravan Park. It's actually quite a nice caravan park. Nice big sites. Neil did a really good job of parking Georgia. Very impressed, my sweet. So we had a few vinos, pulled out the laptop, caught up on some book work, and now we're going to head off to, I think it's called the Great Western Hotel, for a pub meal, hopefully. And if it's no good, then we're going to go to the Chinese at the golf club. And we're off.
We are.
It's almost 6 o'clock. Hang on to your hats. We're looking at the downtown action in Cobar.
Yes.
And what is diesel?
$195.9.
Oh, that's a lot cheaper than what we paid for. We paid $2 something.
9 cents or a liter dearer, yeah. In front of the pub. Might be the same.
28 years ago, we actually...
30.
No, 30 was it?
What do you think about it?
Probably, yeah. Oh, yeah.
4.
29 to 30 years ago, we actually drained our radiator, eek, in front of the pub. Not
Could
sure.
be the one we're going
Might
to.
be the same one we're going to.
Maybe we shouldn't show up there.
No, maybe not. They might remember us.
Smells like these kids coming across.
Yep.
It's a great Western.
Grand Hotel. No, that's the Grand Hotel. We're looking for the Great Western. I think that's it right there. Great Western.
Great Western, is it?
Yep, that's it.
Okay.
What a cool old entrance. Neat. Well, dinner was good, but it had zero atmosphere in there. Not like
Yeah.
what it used to be 30 years ago. They've tried to make it modern, so it's bland and boring, and yeah, bit disappointed.
That is a bit sad, yeah.
Yeah.